India's economy grew by 7.4% in the period between January and March, up from 6.2% the previous quarter and significantly beating analyst expectations. However, growth for full 2024-25 year, which runs between April and March, is pegged at 6.5%, the slowest in 4 years. The country's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, meets later in June and is expected to cut rates for the third time in a row to boost growth. The Reserve Bank of India expects GDP growth of 6.5% in the fiscal year beginning April 1st. At that rate, India will remain the fastest-growing major economy and could match Japan for size this year at $4.18 trillion. According to projections by the IMF, India remains the world's fastest-growing major economy, although growth has sharply dropped from the 9.2% high recorded in financial year 2023-24. Asia's third-largest economy benefited from strong farm activity, steady public spending and improved rural demand in the last financial year, even as manufacturing and new investments by private companies remained weak. India's growth engine remains heavily dependent on the government's infrastructure spending on roads, ports and highways. In the absence of significant improvement in private investment going forward, domestic growth should benefit from government's income tax cuts announced in the federal budget, as well as monetary easing, expectations of an above-normal monsoon and lower food inflation. But ongoing global uncertainties, including U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war, are expected to weigh on export demand. India is currently negotiating a trade agreement with the United States, which is officially expected to conclude by fall. Trump slapped tariffs of up to 27% on Indian goods in April, and a 90-day pause on these ends on the 9th of July. Economists expect GDP growth in the ongoing financial year 2025-26 to further slow to 6% on the back of these global slowdown worries, which could delay new private capital spending on projects. Data showed private sector expenditure, as part of overall investments in India's economy, fell to a 10-year low of 33% in the last financial year. Net foreign direct investment into India, at $0.35 billion in 2024-25, also fell to the lowest level into decades, as rising outward foreign investment and repatriations by Indian companies neutralized inward investment. Prime Minister Modi's government has been attempting to position India as a manufacturing hub for global companies, while companies like Apple indicated recently that it was shifting most of its production of iPhones headed to the US from China to India.